me see if this is working now. In the chat, I see that there's a few of you in the chat. Can you guys hear me at all? Still no. Not sure why this is happening. There we go. Okay. I think this is showing now. Let me just make sure. Sorry, guys. Part of this stream is to iron out streaming issues because I am testing my streams for FarkhamCon. I've never really screen shared while I stream. So I'm fairly new to this, and I just want to make sure I iron out any issues, which I seem to be having because I do not see the window. That's weird. Let's see if TTS shows though. All right, cool. I think I see the screen is working. Okay, the screen share seems to be working. That's good. I was talking for like 10 minutes and realized that the stream hadn't started yet. These are the kind of things that I'm trying to iron out before FarkhamCon. Anyways, this is a test stream. I will be playing The Last King with Father Mateo, and the reason for this stream is to test a deck that I'll be using next week. That's the Father Mateo deck, which I tried to share on the screen but didn't work, so I'm just not going to bother right now. But I will talk about it. I'm also testing to make sure there's no issues with my stream. I'm ironing out any mistakes or any kind of problems that I encountered during the stream. That way next week for the FarkhamCon, everything runs smoothly. And if you haven't heard of FarkhamCon, it's a convention that's being run by the Mythos Busters, and they've gotten together a bunch of content creators. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. There's going to be panels, contests, games. I mean, 4 days of just awesome stuff. And it starts on Thursday the 31st, and runs through Sunday the 2nd. So I will be at the convention on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'll be streaming on this channel as well as the Great Old Ones Twitch channel. I'll also be joining a few panels and contests and such. So definitely go to the FarkhamCon website, which I'll link after the stream is done, and I'll link it in the description after the stream is done, and you guys can check it out. There's a ton of cool things happening, so something I highly recommend. And one last thing before I start the stream, I wanted to thank the patrons of the channel. You guys make this happen, and I honestly wouldn't be able to join FarkhamCon in the way that I'm joining it if it wasn't for the patrons. I was able to upgrade a lot of my equipment thanks to you guys, and finally able to stream games live, which is something I haven't been able to do until recently. So thank you guys so much. All right, so this Father Mateo deck, I don't think you guys were able to hear. I don't think it was streaming when I was talking about it earlier, but it is basically a deck that I made because a lot of people don't like Father Mateo. They say he's one of the weakest investigators, and I understand where they're coming from. He definitely has a very limited card pool, and you have to be very careful the way you build him. Otherwise, he's going to suffer tremendously with consistency and that kind of thing. I don't think he's perfect. I think he definitely has his issues, especially with a card pool that's so limited, especially if you're playing level 0. But you know, I figure I might as well play him and just try different things out, see how they work. So with this deck, we're going for a build that kind of plays with the Chaos Bag, but not by sealing tokens. Mostly it's the bad tokens, the symbol tokens, playing around with a little bit of that. So I've got Ritual Candles in the deck. Basically, these will give you a bonus if you pull a bad token. And if I have 2 in play, that'll be a +2 bonus every time it pulls. And I'm kind of combining that with a couple of other cards. So the combo would be Black Cat if I pull a Tablet or Elder Thing. In this scenario, there's no tablets, unfortunately, but you can modify that to just a -1 instead of its standard modifier, and then get an additional +2 with the ritual candles. So that's a cool one. Not to mention Song of the Dead. If you pull a skull, then at least I'll be getting bonuses, to hit with it. And in addition to that, I have thrown in the Jewel of Aurelis. I think that's how you pronounce it. And with this card, if you pull a bad symbol, you're going to draw a card and gain 2 resources. So those bad symbols, we're basically making them really beneficial to pull. And of course, I've added a few cards that'll help us do that. Not too many. I don't want to overdo that strategy, but like Dark Prophecy is one that will help you get one of those symbols, that kind of thing. I've also included a lot of enemy management events like Ethereal Form, which is a fantastic card, as well as Spectral Razor, and a few combat cards and a few skill cards. It's pretty basic deck, but I did an earlier version of this deck privately, and it worked okay. It wasn't perfect. It had some issues, so I switched some cards around to iron that out. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and draw our weaknesses because I have not drawn those yet, so hopefully it's nothing crazy. Let's draw the first one. Through the Gates. That's horrible. That is a horrifying weakness. All right. 13th Vision. We get 3 weaknesses. Self-centered we can't have because we're not playing multiplayer. Ooh, Indebted. That's horrendous for a Mystic. That is really bad. But at least it doesn't, give us a bad draw later on in the game. Well, that was not great. Through the Gates is going to be horrible. Indebted starts in play in 13th Vision. So we'll shuffle this. Put Indebted there. We lose 2 resources. Yeah. Okay. I guess it's not the worst, and it doesn't go in our deck, which is great. All right. So the next thing we're going to do to set up, I've already set up all the stuff because it's automated. We're going to shuffle these guys and put them at locations. Okay. There's Jordan. Sebastian. And if you haven't played the scenario before, clearly there's going to be spoilers. I'm not going to go too much into reading, story elements or anything like that because it's a test stream. I'm just going to play the scenario. I already know the story beats and the story elements. So let's take a quick look and see how we're going to run this strategically. Constance, I think we can get early on, but not Ishimaru. She's well, maybe maybe we can take this route and then come down to here. There's an enemy could pop out, so we could go this way, go to Ashley Clark, and then finish with the 2. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do this. We can go because Sebastian's pretty simple too. No, we're gonna go this way, and then this way. So Jordan Perry is tough because you need 10 resources, and that's not going to happen. All right, so we've got our VIPs in the party. We have been invited as a guest to this party for the play of The Last King. Let's shuffle this. I don't think I forgot anything. I got my camera set up. Yes, perfect. Let's do this. So draw our opening hand, 5 cards. Not that one. Okay, so for mulligan, I don't need 2 black cats. That's for sure. Song of the Dead. Yeah, so we'll just mulligan the 1 black cat. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, not the greatest starting hand, but not the worst. And these I kept. Song of the Dead, I always want to start with a way to defend yourself or your game will end very quickly. So Song of the Dead definitely in there. Seal of the Elder Sign, you can never go wrong with that card. That's an auto success, so that's very important. And the cat, which is part of my strategy. So we're good to roll and ready to start with the first round. So investigator phase, we're going to gain a resource for our first action. Action number 2, we're going to play Song of the Dead. And action number 3, we're going to play Black Cat. And in the chat, if you hear any sound issues or see any other kind of issues, please let me know, because that is what we're testing for over here. All right. That ends the turn. So there's no enemies, no enemy phase. We gain a resource and draw a card. Arcane Studies, okay. Doom goes on the agenda, fashionably late. At the third Doom threshold, something happens, and our goal is to find as many clues as we can, so pretty straightforward. And let's go into the Mythos phase and draw our encounter card. Tough crowd. Each investigator spends 1 additional action to parlay. I'm not going to put it next to the agenda because it's easier for me to remember to discard it when it's here. Okay, that's not terrible. We're going to draw... I forgot to flip this earlier. We're going to try and grab this clue, I guess. I have a 3 intellect versus a 2. Yeah. That's probably not what we want to do just yet. Let's draw a card. Ooh, that's awesome. And it takes an extra action to parlay. So we don't want to parlay with Ishimaru just yet, or Constance. Oh, let's get to Ishimaru. So we drew a card. Action number 2 will move. And this is the ballroom. Okay. Action number 3 will move. So this is the dining room. And we've got Ishimaru there, which we can parlay with next round. No enemies on the board. End of the round, this discards. Gain a resource, draw a card. I know it's draw a card, then gain a resource, but it doesn't matter right now. We're at 2 Doom, which we do not want this lady to show up while we're trying to talk to Ishimaru. Encounter card says it is an enemy, a young psychopath. You must take 1 horror or it gets +3 fight. Yeah, let's take a horror. So we take a horror, and now it's our turn. So let's try and do this Dark Prophecy and just try to kill this thing with a shot from the Song of the Dead. Skulls are reveal another token. Oh, you know what? That's probably not... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, let's not do that. Sorry. I think I had 2 resources. Let's parlay. Let's parlay with Ishimaru, because we have 6 cards in hand. So if you have 6 or more cards, parlay tests 2 willpower. Our willpower is 3. So we're gonna, or our willpower is 4. Sorry. So 4 to a 2. Let's do it. Parlay action 1. That is an elder thing. The shroud value of your location, which is 2. So -2. So we succeed. We gain a clue from Ishimaru. Let's parlay again. That's a skull. Draw another token. +1. So we succeed. So that's another clue. So we get all the clues from Ishimaru. And just throw these over here. We get to flip her. Remember that you interviewed Haruku. All right. That's good, because she has no clues now when this advances. Divine gets attached to her. So we have 1 less action, and we have this young psychopath on us. All right, let's shoot it with Song of the Dead. Song of the Dead, and we'll spend a resource to play this Dark Prophecy. So Dark Prophecy, we draw 5 tokens. instead of 1, and we choose 1. But then that would be potentially bad for us, but that's fine. 1, 2. Okay, we choose a skull so we can do extra damage with Song of the Dead. And it's a 5 to a 2, so let's now draw. Skull means draw another token. +1. Alright, so you are dead, young psychopath. And that ends our turn. No enemies on the board. We gain a resource and draw a card. Alright, and it is advancing the agenda time. So, fashionably late, and it looks like find the bystander with the fewest clues on it. Spawn the set aside Dan Divine. Okay. And then we shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. This scenario has a potential for a ton of enemies to just bombard you in a short amount of time. Once things start rolling, they start rolling. So Diane gets attached to Shimaru. We can't gain clues from her. Not a tremendous issue. And now we will draw our encounter card. Ooze and Filth. Each location gets +1 shroud at the end of the round it discards. That's kind of a whiff, so I kind of like that. Alright, so action number 1, we're going to move down to the ballroom and try to parlay with Constance. So we need an intellect 3 test. So here's what we're going to do. Let's boost our tempo a little bit. We're going to parlay, and we're going to seal the Elder Sign that's removed from the game. That's an auto success and gets us an extra action. So we basically don't use this one because we gain an extra one due to Father Mateo's ability. So we get a clue, and then we will parlay again. This time let's should we seal? We have a 3 intellect against it too, and we don't have anything to commit to it. Yeah, let's seal the Elder Sign again, and we gain the clue from her. So we succeed, we get an extra action. We've gotten all the clues off of her. She flips. We interviewed Constance. Boom. We still have 2 actions. Let's move in to Ashley Clark's location at the courtyard. Making some good headway over here. All right, Ashley Clark. So we have 1 action left, and to parlay with her, we need 2 actions. So we can't parlay yet. Oh, I forgot to do this. After you enter, discard the top card of the encounter deck. You know what? This had 2 resources. I get 2 resources from that parlay action. Sorry, I'm playing it kind of fast. Alright, so we draw the top card of the encounter deck, discard it. If it's an enemy, we draw it. It is not an enemy, thank goodness. Alright. And we have 1 action left, and it takes 2 to parlay with her, so we don't have a way to do that. So what we're going to do is just let's play Arcane Studies, since we have that extra action to do it with. That ends our turn. There are no enemies on the board. Gain a resource, draw a card. Oh, through the gates. No. Draw the top card of your deck. If it is not a weakness, remove it from the game. Oh boy, that's terrible. Okay, here we go. Unexpected Courage. I mean, that's not horrendous. It sucks, but it's not horrendous. All right. So they're both removed from the game. That is a brutal weakness, man. If you have a card that you depend on for a combo, this thing can mess up your game. All right, now we will put a Doom on the agenda. Terrifying Truth. Wow, we're making some serious headway over here. This gets discarded, and it is cockroaches at the worst possible location that they can pop out in. Their combat is X, which is the shroud value of our location, which is 5. So combat against them is not going to be super easy. So we'll have to pull off a different maneuver. I guess we can try and just take the attack of opportunity and get Sebastian first. That way we have a way to deal with them, and then come back for Ashley. I'd hate to go back to the courtyard because every time you go, it's potential for an enemy to just spawn on you. Let me think about this. There are 3 at the end of the. Okay. Let's do that. Let's move to Sebastian's location. So first action, we move, and that gets us an attack of opportunity, so we take damage. And let's see, after you perform a parley action, you draw a card. And after you perform a parley action, so you don't have to succeed. So the roaches are there. Let's parlay. So Sebastian, testing against a 3. As soon as we parlay, after you perform the action. So I believe you draw the card after you do the test. Correct me if I'm wrong on how that works. Or is it when you initiate the test, you draw a card? I think it's after you're done with the test, but let me know. What do you guys think? Parlay 3. Okay. We parlay 3, and we have a 4. So we'll commit a guts. That's 6 to a 3. A 0. Okay, so we get a clue from Sebastian. And we draw a card because of this thing. Nice. All right. And then let's try parlaying again. Only this time we will spend a resource. That puts us at a 5 to a 3. Spend another resource. These are being spent to pump arcane studies. 6 to a 3. 6 to a 3. -1. Okay, so we get that last clue. All right. Sebastian is flipped. Boom. And that ends the turn. So enemy phase, the roaches hit us for 1 damage. We'll take it. Gain a resource, draw a card. Gain a guts. 2 doom. Bad things will happen in a minute. We've made short work of this scenario. Those 2 Seal of the Elder Signs really helped. Encounter. Oh, Maniac. Take a damage and deal 1 damage. Alright. We'll give it to the cat this time. And we deal 1 damage to him. Alright, so we need to get out of here. So let's do this. We're going to first action. Spend 2 resources to play Ethereal Form. We get to test evade. If you succeed, disengage from each enemy engaged with you. Okay. Our evade value is 3. Our willpower is 4. That's a 7. And we're going to test against this guy. 7 to a 1. -1. So we disengage from them. They go here. He goes here. We're ethereal, so we're going to jump in to the graveyard as our second action. A graveyard. That might be our graveyard. It's the courtyard. That's enemy. Let's see. It is not an enemy, so that doesn't happen. And we have 1 final action. We still can't parlay with her because we need 2 actions to parlay. So for our final action, we're going to... Let's gain a resource. I think that'll be handy. So we gain a resource. That ends our turn. Enemy phase. There are 2 enemies here, but neither one is a hunter, so they just stay there, which is exactly where I want them. Gain a resource. Draw a card. And wither. Okay. And this advances. So, blah, we do the sickening reality. Let's shuffle them up. And the first one says Ishimaru. So Ishimaru goes away. She is a hunter. After you deal damage to her, draw the top card of the... Yeah, damn, that's brutal. Holy cow, she's pretty freaking brutal. And ugly as sin. Alright. Super high combat. That is a tough enemy. Okay, let's draw our encounter card. It is marked by the sign. Test 2 willpower. If you fail, take 2 horror. Okay. 2 willpower. We have a 4. I mean, I can tank the horror if I fail, so let's just take it. -2, we succeed. Boom. All right, let's spend 2 actions to parlay with Ashley, and we gain a clue. So we're at 7 clues. Yeah, that's not bad. And we have 1 action left. Ishimaru is going to come hit us next round. She doesn't do too much damage. So let's... Let's draw a card. Okay, black cat. Turn ends. And gain a resource, draw a card. The jewel finally shows up. Doom on the agenda and draw our encounter card. Oh, no. I forgot to move her. So she comes and engages us. And hits us for 1 and 1. Okay. I know I'm making a ton of mistakes, guys. I'm sorry. Flip our encounter card. Dance of the Yellow King. Test 3 willpower. The nearest lunatic enemy will engage us and attack us. That would be her. 3 willpower. Yeah, let's commit guts. We'll commit guts. Puts us at a 6 to a 3. -1. Okay, that's gone. All right. We have 1 more clue on Ashley. Oops. We'll spend 2 actions to get the final clue and flip her. And we're at 8 clues. We have 1 action left. We got Ishimaru on us. The only clues we have left are Jordan Perry's, which there's no way I can get those. So I think what we're going to do is go back, pick this last clue up, and resign. So action number 3, we're going to move to the foyer. She hits us for 1 and 1. 1 and 1. And that ends our turn. Enemy face, she hits us for 1 and 1. 1 and 1. And we draw a card and gain a resource. Read the signs. Hey, look at that. Just what we need to grab that last clue. And Doom goes on the agenda. Here we go. And it is an ancient evil. So that means that this advances. Let's see who flips. Ashley Clark. She is nasty too. So, okay. And if you're in her location, you can't draw cards at all. No problem. We're about to finish this right here. So we'll take an attack of opportunity and play read the signs. So she hits us for 1-1, killing the cat. Play read the signs puts us at 4 plus 3. That's 7 to a 2. 7 to 2, and that's a skull. -1. So we grab the last clue as our first action, and then final action, we shall resign. So not bad. We got 8 clues. Took some damage, but I think overall this deck fared fairly well. Didn't get to play the jewel. That would have been fun to see in action, but overall not bad. We really, these VIPs are so hard to deal with. Even if you're a guardian well built for combat, I mean, they will really stress out your actions if anything. But then they start coming fast and hard, and they'll just surround you and kill you. But overall, the only thing we were missing were 2 clues. We got all the other clues, interviewed all the VIPs except for Jordan Perry, and we got the clue in the foyer. So not bad at all. Pretty good run for Father Mateo. I'm actually really happy with this deck. I think this deck is pretty solid as a solo generalist deck, and I could see it working decently for other scenarios where you actually have to investigate locations. Cards like Read the Signs are really helpful, but his intellect at 3 is not bad. And then between the arcane studies that you can pump for more intellect and, you know, other cards like Unexpected Courage, I don't think that he'll be suffering too much on the clue gathering portion. Multiplayer, I don't see this deck working super great in multiplayer. It feels definitely more like a single player deck, and that's what I built it for. So it looks like it fared really well. I mean, that initial Seal of the Elder Sign, double Seal of the Elder Sign, really helped my tempo, which allowed me to interview these ladies and get here all before the first flip of the VIPs. So that helped tremendously, because once they start flipping your actions, your tempo starts to drop significantly because enemies start getting on you. You have to find ways to deal with them. I love this scenario. It's one of my favorites, so I'm glad that I got to play it and test this Father Mateo. Hopefully the stream went well. I haven't seen anything on the chat, so I'm hoping that it's not some kind of issue with my audio. I'm hoping it's not some kind of issue with the chat not working for people. You don't have to type anything, don't worry, but I'm testing things out for next week, and I do want to be able to interact with people watching the stream, especially with the Q&A that's going to happen afterwards. So I'm hoping that there isn't an audio issue or anything else. But if that is the case, I will try streaming again later today. Otherwise, if I get feedback that everything went smoothly, then great. I will see you guys in Arkham, and thank you for watching. There's quite a few of you on right now, so that's pretty cool. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and watching this playthrough. All right, guys, that'll do it for today, and have a great Sunday.